Hi, it's Scott Epp here again, the owner of Abundance Coaching and the creator of the Life Purpose and Abundance process. The fantastic thing about today is that we're going to talk about something called your life purpose plan, and I'm going to share with you some teachings and some truths that are going to help you to create your life purpose plan. How's that? Well, if you're not excited, this should be the time that you say woohoo, or you get up out of your chair and you're like, yes, I can build my life purpose plan now finally. And this is such a vast topic because for years people debated this idea of life purpose. People have asked, what's my dreams, what are my goals, what are my passions, what am I really doing with my life, and how can I live my destiny, how can I live my purpose, and I'm working in this job and it's really not that passionate for me, and I just know that there's something else that's better for me, and I don't know what that is, but here you are today, right? You've asked all these questions and here you are today. The cool thing is that I'm going to help you get some light on this topic, and not just to identify the fact that you need a purpose because you probably know that, but also to help you create a plan for that purpose that you actually have. So the cool thing about this is that to start off with this, I want you to acknowledge that you were created by a wonderful God that knew that you would do something significant for your life, and that you were designed uniquely, and that you were created for greatness, and that you might not have found exactly all that you've been created for, but you're starting today. So you were designed by an amazing God, and you were created for greatness, and you may not know exactly what that greatness is or what it exactly looks like, but there's a plan waiting for you to be able to tackle and to embrace and to say, hey, it's for me. And when you find that plan and you implement that plan, know that you are on your path and on your journey, your hero's journey to greatness. So I'm not just saying that as something wishy-washy. Hey, this means something. You may have heard some goal-setting talks before, or some, how do you achieve your SMART goals talk before. But listen, this is different. This is what you were designed to do for your life. And once you get a grasp on what your why is and what your calling is and what you're designed to do, and you're able to walk in it, you'll have so much more fulfillment, happiness. What else will you have? You say. What will you have when you know that you're fully walking in your purpose? It's cool, eh? My friend Jerry Anderson, who's the owner of Global Priorities, and he's just an incredibly wise man. He's done so many great things to change the world, really, and he's made his difference in helping thousands and thousands of people through Global Priority implement values and principles within organizations. We had a chat a little while ago, and he said it this way, and I thought it was just so wise. He said, look at your hand. And when you look at that hand, know that this hand is just, it's a hand. But what can this hand do if you gave it all of the empowerment that it really deserved to have and that really it was created with? Right? Going all the way back to the very first video when we talked about the awaken the wild lion within. Well, if that wild lion was awakened within you, what could this hand do to go out and change the world, to make a difference for your family, to make a difference in your relationship, to restore a relationship, to go out and just do something different with your career if you need to, or your job if you need to, or find a different place to live, or to go out and trudge a new territory, or to pursue a dream, or to finally go out there and find that plan that will help you succeed, or get out of a rut, or break through. This hand right here has incredible power. It has power to be able to transform. It has power to be able to heal. It has power to be able to hold. It has power to be able to embrace. It also has power to hit. It has power to sabotage. and to do a lot of other negative things. But this hand, what are you choosing to do with this hand that's going to make a difference? I'm going to start with that question. Okay? So if you feel like it, let's pause the video right now and write that down. What are you choosing to do with this hand that's going to make a difference in your life? I'm just going to read a little excerpt out of the Life, Purpose, and Abundance process, which I'll share with you the entire Life, Purpose, and Abundance process in a future video here, but it's just a tiny excerpt that I just think is really good. In this step, I'm asking you a really important question. In this step, we're looking at your why and creating a life purpose plan you can use to get you through the next year of your life and to the future parts of your life. As we work through this program, you may find a few opportunities to update your life purpose plan, and indeed, I hope you will. But to do this, you'll need to start with your why. Most successful people have spent thousands of hours mastering what they do. They have vision for their future. They have vision for the place, and they have vision for the future and their place in it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bothered with all of this work that it took to get there. Yet, most successful people would tell you that they loved the process, the challenge, the passion, the fun. They found a vision of their future that compels them and excites them, and that's made the difference. That's why they are where they are. There are people that I look up to, people that you probably look up to, that have invested themselves, just like what I wrote here, and they have invested themselves to the degree of mastering this life purpose plan thing, this life purpose thing that really is just so important. A lot of people have figured this thing out. Hey, listen, I'm doing exactly what I'm called to do, and it didn't take just like that overnight, but listen, it's something that is incredibly invigorating for me to be able to stand here, and I know that this is just a video camera, but I know that your eyeballs are watching it right now, and that I'm connecting with you, and as part of me connecting with you, even through this lens of this video camera, I know that I am fulfilling part of my purpose. And that part of my purpose is that I am created to connect with your authentic, amazing self. And to my authentic, amazing self. I'll say that again. I am created to connect with my authentic, amazing self so that I can live with passion and have abundance in life. And my purpose in coaching is to help you connect with your authentic, amazing self so that you can have more passion and abundance in life. And when I'm connecting with people, even through the lens of this video camera, I'm living part of my purpose. And I want you to get so very clear on what it is that you're doing for your life, that you know exactly what it is, and you can put it in a statement similar to that. Okay, so I'm going to do some actual teaching on this as well, and in order to do that I'm going to go back to the classroom and I'm going to share with you some really cool things with the teaching as far as that. But before I get into that, I want to share with you just a story as to why my why came to be. I was courting my wife in Toronto, Canada, and I really just I didn't know exactly what my why was. You know, I previously worked at a computer store, and it was a great place because, you know, I made a lot of money, and, you know, a lot of times we associate the amount of money that we make with purpose, and I get that. And with that money, I was able to buy properties, and that gave me some sense of fulfillment and purpose. And with those properties, I was able to buy more properties, and I then became basically a real estate mogul. I bought and sold properties, and that was great. But there was something after a period of time that was missing for me, and it was actually a God thing. It was a spiritual thing that came through me to be able to say, hey Scott, you've done so many things that I'm proud of you for. This is God talking to me. And now I want you to step into something that's bigger. And you'll know when you know. How's that? That's great, hey? So I already knew, because there were things that were just dissatisfying me that I probably could have just kept on doing, but I knew that this deep spiritual desire and this deep personal desire to do something greater was inside of me. And I'll tell my story a little bit later about, the worst day of my life, where, I was driving to my sister's wedding, and it was just a terrible day for a lot of reasons. But shortly after that experience, I came to meeting my now wife. And while we were courting long distance, because I lived in a city called Saskatoon, which is in the center part of Canada, and she lived in Toronto at that time. She's Australian, and actually you'll see the sea behind me. We are in Australia now. We're actually in Sydney, and that's why I just have this amazing scenery behind me. I thought, if I'm going to shoot these videos, I'm going to get into my zone, get into my best self to be able to do that for you and with you. And when I was courting my wife, she said, "Scott, you'd be an amazing coach." And this is back in 2006. And in 2006, if you can rewind your minds back then, did you know what a coach was, like a life coach? The only coach that I really knew of was Tony Robbins, or maybe Jack Canfield, and that was about it. And at that time, I was intrigued. I was inspired by this notion, this idea. And she tried to describe it to me, and she's pretty accurate actually as to what in her mind coaching was. And she told me about this friend that she had, Lindley Allen. And Lindley was a coach, and she was really inspirational, and she was doing something incredible. And shortly after our courtship, I moved from Saskatoon all the way to Toronto. When I lived in Toronto, I went and I saw Lindley, and I saw her speak, and I was inspired. And I was inspired because she was the kind of person that I liked to just be around. She had an energy about her. She had this opening of life about her. And I thought, yeah, this is awesome. I want to be around people like her. And it inspired me so much that shortly after I married my wife, we were living in Toronto, I decided that I was going to pursue a coaching career and a coaching lifestyle. So I enrolled in a coaching program, and fast forward the story till today, I've quit my careers or my jobs or whatever it is that I used to be doing, and I'm doing this as something that's a passion for me, because I know that I am able to help people to connect with their authentic, amazing self so that they can fully live their life purpose with passion and abundance. And you are one of those people that right now, if you're even watching this right now, you're probably connecting right now to the message for yourself that there was something that you're doing, and there was somebody else that came into the picture, but potentially somebody that's really important to you, and said, hey, listen, there's maybe something else that you could do or that you could look at, or maybe you didn't have that, but I'm here telling you that, hey, there's something that you can look at for your life. And however the story turns out, there's a connection for you potentially in this story that can help you identify that there's something greater for you. There's a greater why for you. There's a greater purpose for you. Now I'll tell you when the why really came to fruition for me. It didn't come to fruition really for me when I became a husband. My wife was self-sufficient. In fact, she's incredible. She had her own position, had her job, she was doing great. She made her own money, so, that was not part of it. It wasn't all financial thing. But moreover, she was somebody that I really just engaged intelligently in conversation with. So, there wasn't this, hey, I found my purpose to be married. Although that's something that I was definitely destined to do, and I'm loving it. I love being married. But my why really came to me, and it really hit me just like that when I became a father for the first time. You see, shortly after our marriage, we fell pregnant, and my wife delivered our first son, Josiah. And I remember just holding him, this little tiny infant, in my hands, knowing that this life was not my own, that there's something more in this life. There's something more for me in this life. There's a bigger responsibility for me. There's a greater why. There's a greater reason. And all of a sudden, being a father changed me in the sense that I had a greater why to succeed at what I was doing with my coaching, to know that, everything that I did had greater impact than what I previously had, because, here I had this tiny little infant that was going to grow and watch me and model after me, and I wanted to show him things and to demonstrate, how to be a wise man and how to live with integrity and how to, live his life purpose. So my why came through that. So as I'm sharing this story, I told you I was going to give you some coaching tools as well with this life purpose plan, but as I share this story, is there something coming for you in this story? And imagine that there is something that's coming to you in this story. So what is the moment in your life, if you can identify with it, that you feel you figured out what your why is? And don't worry if you don't know that moment. The next tool that I'm going to share with you is called the Why Worth Living, and this is the first tool of a few tools that I coach with in the life, purpose, and abundance process, which goes into way more depth than what I'm going to share with you now, because like I said, living your life purpose isn't just as easy as saying, okay, well, do this quick tool and you're good. You need to be able to go on a journey, and sometimes that journey has its ups and downs, and you need to actually break through the pits of those journeys. But if you want to break through in your life, you're going to have to figure out what your why is. And you're going to have to figure out what your why is so that you can create that life purpose plan and be purposeful about where you're going with your life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually switch to the classroom now, and we're going to go through a coaching tool called the Why Worth Living, and you'll be able to download as well this Why Worth Living tool and be able to do it on your own. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so now's your opportunity to press pause on this video and download your Why Worth Living tool and fill out your Why Worth Living tool, because, just as I said in the previous part of this video, you have an opportunity to live your why. And you have an opportunity to do something that's more meaningful than what's going on in your life right now. So the next video I'm going to share with you is called Your Clarity Blueprint, and it's an amazing video that's going to help you get clear with where you're at in your life, because you need to get clear, right? You need to have clarity with where you're going in your life, don't you? And when you have clarity with where you're going in your life, you'll have power. You'll have personal power. And that personal power is going to help you unlock things. It's going to help you take a journey to the greatness that you really are. And it's going to help you fully live your life purpose with passion and abundance. So I'm also going to share with you a really amazing coaching tool that I've created, a game that I've created that's going to help you measure your life and find out whether or not you're winning or losing at your game of life. And I'm going to share with you the 5 proven strategies to win at life. Awesome, hey? Cool. So all you need to do then is press pause or just wait till this video ends and fill out your Why Worth Living, and I will see you on the next video where I will share with you your clarity blueprint. Until we chat again, I'm Scott. Live with passion and have abundance in life.